So we're off to the village. It's for a burial, but that's neither you know. Hi, that's my sister. If you're so yeah, and Ekaite. Oh, whoa! Honestly, why are you so fine? Like, say so more. If you're looking like say Ekaite, your teeth is now white. Anyways, yeah. And off we went. We lost one of our uncles, and today was his funeral. So I hadn't been to the village in a long time, so I knew I would use that opportunity to catch up with some family members, also see our family house, which I haven't seen in a very long time. These are just some of the stuff I realized while we had already left that my sister had packed in the boots. So I didn't know this girl had a plan. But as usual, I always have my flask of ice because I do drink a lot of water. And we're in my village. I mean, I call it a village, but really it was only a village when I was growing up because look at all this beauty. Like, we actually passed the gate to my family house. It's that red one. And I kept asking, where is it? Where is it? And I'm like, we have passed. I didn't know. After the funeral service, I came back to our house to enter this compound for the first time in 8 years. This is where I grew up. The compound obviously looked way better when there were people living here, and I contemplated not making this video because it wasn't prim and proper and all that. But I'm not all about presenting a perfect image online. I'm going to give it to you as is. So this is the front part of the compound. What you saw right there was the store we used to sell drinks. Matter of fact, I have sold drinks in that store many a holiday. And then you enter, this is what we called our middle gate. Once you enter, that backyard led to our kitchen, and we had what we call the girls' quarters for the staff. So there was that other small house where we have some tenants living there now. This was the main building of the girls' quarters. Obviously, it has gotten a lot of damage over the years. My sisters and I, every time we plan to maybe come and renovate this place, it's never the right time, or finances are never all together at the same time. It also had its small backyard. That was the bathroom, and they had a kitchen there as well. I remember it was quite a big size kitchen. This was also what I would call the primary garage for the cars, this particular one, and then the smaller one was an add-on later. And this was kind of like, this is where we hung out. That place you see there, right there, was where we had our laundry. That's where we washed clothes and all that. This was our main backyard. Around here, there used to be a lot of water tanks because we used to sell water, another chore that I've done during holidays. And this is another garage behind my dad's room. This is actually where my dad wanted to be buried. So behind those doors laid my father. I got a little bit emotional at this point, so I just moved on. There's small backyard here. I actually grew up on a farm as well. So all this part of the house, we used to process a lot of melon, a lot of palm oil. We also have part of the house cordoned off. That's why you see clothes hanging, because we have tenants living in a certain part of the house. So this was our village kitchen, I would say. This is where we process palm oil. Like, there's nothing I can't do. Forget all this English I'm speaking. Process a lot of things. As you can see, this is a proper village. We cooked with firewood here. Again, I had fun times in that place, especially when we're roasting breadfruit. Honestly, growing up here was a dream. That was our generator house. And through this is yet another gate. Through this gate is where we had the pathway to my dad's hospital. So this is where he would usually walk to hospital every day. I mean, all these places everybody used to play around everywhere. I decided to check out that part of the house that has been cordoned off because there are tenants living there. This was another wing added to the house, even though it was added before I was born, I think. But it used to be my late sister's room and my first sister's room. That was their wing of the house. And this is also where my little sister is laid to rest. Another place I got emotional, but yeah. Anyways, off to the main house I go. This is a Kaime who I think I've known almost half my life because she was with us. She was one of our main farm hands, and my sisters have still kept in touch with her, so she keeps the keys to our house. And this is the main parlor. Oh my God. This video is not long enough for me to talk about everything that happened in this parlor. I remember our TV used to be here. When we were growing up, these shelves were a place you don't touch. You cannot touch it before you break it. And that's one of my dad's old pictures. And that is him when he was also a young sprite, was looking very fine with his Mercedes Benz. I was just looking at all the pictures because so many memories. Like I said, I cannot fit everything in this video. I mean, I remember getting married here in 2010. I mean, that's my picture also when I was 2 years old. If you can see, I look like a boy. And then this is all my sisters before my last sister who died was born on the day my dad opened his hospital. I'm the baby, fine baby, even though you can't really see it clearly, but I was a fine baby. I look like a boy, but I was a fine baby. That's me and my dad, and this was my third birthday. I really wanted to take some pictures, but I decided to leave it. Again, that's all my sisters in our Methodist wear when my dad was still in Methodist. This is a picture of my dad when he received his OON from the late President Yaradua, a very awesome day. And this is also him by now. He was, of course, advanced in age. This is him when he schooled in London, I believe. I know there's a story behind that picture. Again, me during my third birthday. Did you see my hat? Now, this condolence letter is one we framed after my dad died. He worked in a hospital in Jamaica for 12 years, and when the head he died, they sent in that very beautiful note. And just more pictures of us, all the girls, Edward and his girls. I think someone is missing here, most likely me, or I think I can't see myself, I'm too white. This is all of us again on the day my dad opened his clinic, but with my uncle, Uncle Iman, and my cousin. We call her Honey, but her name is Uyai. I don't know what that was. I can't remember. And then I decided to go into the main house, like the sleeping quarters. This corridor, there have been many tears on this corridor. People have been locked out from that grill that I just opened. A lot of tears, but a lot of fun also. The first room is my second sister's room, Georgine. It was locked, so I couldn't, enter there. That was the room we used to run to. That was where we used to listen to a lot of Star Plus. I remember listening to Linkin Park Numb in that room. Next to her room is the room I shared with my fourth and immediate sister. There were a lot of fights in this room, a lot of tears. That was my bed. I don't know why there's so many things like this. And that was her bed. Anyways, through that door is the bathroom, which was also a connecting bathroom to my other sister's room. So sometimes when she locks her bathroom, it means you people are not crossing. That's the wardrobe we shared. See how small it was. No wonder we fought so much in this room. I mean, look at the space. And then we headed to my dad's room. If I weren't making this video, at this point I would have been crying. And again, it was very emotional for me to see this room again after such a long time. There's so much crap stuff that's in his room, but this space used to be, I remember watching wrestling in this room. Like, through there is that garage where he is laid to rest. It's a lot. Can't even voice it over. Anyways, I went into his walk-in closet, and again, all the memories. This place a revered space because I knew he used to keep his guns here, and I remember him so many times. This man was a creature of habits. This shirt, he wore it, and his clothes, back then clothes were good, so no matter how much he wore it, they were still very, very good. And those are his ties, his hat. Again, I remember functions, seeing him wearing this hat. Like, there are a lot of memories in this room. I wish that I could have immersed myself in it. Maybe I would go back and do that. And then this key rack, any key you want to any part of the house. He had so many spare keys, everything labeled. I think I get my love for lists and planning from this man because he was such a good planner. His decks used to be there overlooking his garage, the reason he wanted to be buried there. And this room, he also had like this small storage room off to the side where we kept things in bags, like omo. Remember that omo that is blue? We used to keep it here, drinks and stuff like that. This is where it was. And it also had a door that led outside to the backyard of the kitchen. Once you hear this door open and he's coming out from that door, just start running because something has happened. All his records used to be on this shelf, everything labeled. This is where I listened to Nat King Cole and all the other greats you can think of. And on his wall, he had pictures of all his daughters. First, we have Sister Odwak. Then we have my second sister, Georgine, my third sister, Keisha, my fourth sister, Edwina. That's me as a baby. And then a picture of himself. That empty space belonged to Idarisid, my sister, who died when she was 12 years old. I don't know why her picture is taken down. I think her mom took it down, but yeah. When you come out of my dad's room, it's a part of the house that was an addition, I think later on after the main house was built. That side had the pink room, the blue room, another parlor, a very long corridor that everybody hated to walk because it was always dark. But yeah, say bye to my room. And this mirror, this is where everybody would check themselves out when you dress up, because I didn't think we had a full-size mirror in our room. I know I have a picture of myself in front of that mirror during my introduction in 2010. And this was where my dad kept his excess shoes. I remember we once saw a snake in this place. So when I was opening it, I was like, oh my God, there were lots of shoes in this place that obviously are not there anymore. And we're back out to the parlor. I didn't go in through the front because that's obviously locked, but through there, that is where I'm parked. My sisters were still in the car, I think. At this point, they didn't want to come inside with me. But have you seen this grill? We used to fight over who will lock. Not really fight. Everybody will rush inside so that they won't be the one to lock it in the night, because it was such a process. In hindsight, it was a small thing, but everybody must fight. Again, this is my dad. I'm making this video on Father's Day, so happy Father's Day, Daddy. Yeah. I included this picture here because it has a story. As at the time they took this picture, I don't remember the year. These were the only surviving children of my late grandfather, who had 27 wives, and you can imagine the number of children. This is our kitchen. Almost the kitchen is even worse than the entire house. We used to have a deep freezer here, and then the main part of the kitchen. Now I'm looking at it, this space used to look so much more bigger when we were small, but it looked so small now. The door led to the outside, to the backyard through that side. Again, it's locked, so I couldn't access that part of the house. And then we went outside and waited for Utaiwa to bring dog meat. Like I said, my sister had a plan, and one of that included dog meat from this man that has been making dog meat right from when I was small. Please, if you do not indulge, that's totally fine. Don't come and tell me story here, because look up the history. China does, South Korea does, so many other cultures in the world do. So that was our gate right there, and across our gate we have this billboard for the now Senate president. So congratulations, uncle. And then we headed off to see even more family members. I'm going to my cousin's house. Everybody in my family is cousin, but I'm sure I'm this girl's auntie. But I'm sure I'm going to my cousin's house, Esitima. We grew up together. She used to be my bestie when we were in primary school. So her mom still lives in their dad's compound. So I really wanted to stop by and greet her mom and also say hi to her brother. There was a family function going on, so in everybody's house, that's why there's plenty people like this. I'm sure on a normal day it's not like this, but there's a family thing going on, so that's why there's a lot of people. That's my cousin Esidema, aka my childhood bestie, and that's my sister's friend, and then that's my immediate senior sister. I mean, I have so many sisters, but you'll get with the program as time goes on. We went to her mom's house, which is still on the premises. This food was soul food. Do you know, you people are living outside, you're not living in the village. This afang was giving what afang was supposed to give. The fufu was fufuing. This, like, I finished eating, I was like, so who is driving home? Because it can't be me. The food was good. Like, it filled not just my body, my belly, it filled my soul as well. Forgive our worn out faces. We had been in the sun all day for the service. At this point, our makeup was just surviving on vibes and tissues. After finishing the food and greeting all the greeting, off we went to another family member's house, another section of the family. My family tree is a very long one. We're just driving into there. I would call it estate, but it's like a compound where some of my uncles have their family homes in. It's like, I can't remember how many houses exactly, and it's not my place to say really. Anyways, we're entering the gate now. Again, there's a lot of people because, like I said, we had a service, so some people were entertained here, some people were entertained in the house you saw earlier, and some people were also entertained where my uncle that passed lived. Finally, it is our time to shine. We've said hi to all our uncles, we've met up with a lot of people in between before we even sat down here. But you know what's about to go down? It's about to go down. Now we put some drinks in our body, and now we bring out the dog meat. It was so crazy. We made plans for dog meat. We did not make plans for plates. After watching the dog meat for a while, my cousin said, you know what? That came in, my cousin, aka Treasure. She was like, bring your cups. The thing was so funny. Like, I was laughing. That's how we started eating dog meat inside cup. Oh. Bring out wipes, wipe your hand, just go in. Something must kill a man. That's my sister's friend having her first taste of dog meat. Not ever. I think she has obviously had it before. That doesn't look like the mouth of a beginner. Okay, now for some history. I grew up in a village where dog meat was just something people ate. I think I found it weird still then, because I remember the first time I ever ate it, I was actually tricked into it by my sister Edwina. So yes, I found it weird, but at the same time, I understood that that's what people do. Now, I also understand the uproar about it. I get it. You people have dogs as pets. I understand it. I wish they killed them in more humane manners as well, but I do not control things like that. But also check your history, check Google. South Korea eats dogs, Chinese eat dogs, some parts of Indonesia eats dogs, Vietnam they eat dogs. So it's almost like a cultural thing, I would say. I mean, we mustn't all like the same things, okay? This is another snack that was like a blast from the past for me. It is called ikman in my language. It is made from dried melon. I remember I loved it when we were growing up, but not so much that day. What I took back from this trip is that I really should go home more often. I should keep in touch with people more. I should call people more. I'm horrible at that. That's my sister's friend. She went and sang with the live band. I really should do that because this trip reminded me of all the important things, and that is family. Well, this is what I look like at the end of the day. I have sweated so much that my makeup is everywhere. This is why I don't get in the sun. But anyways, we are about to head back to Uyo right now. I'm still in the village, and it's been a great one, really. Like meeting up with family members I haven't seen in such a long time. I have really enjoyed that. And yeah, this whole entire trip has been really nostalgic for me because I have a lot of memories, from growing up and stuff like that. But yeah, that will be it for me for today. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you're also following the Facebook page Rants of a Naija Chick. Make sure that you're also sharing with your Facebook friends, your friends on WhatsApp, everywhere. Just share the video, okay? That one is actually very important. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.